Hello, I'm Vara,
And I'm Roxy.
and you're listening to VCR. Hey, Roxy, how you doing?
I'm good, good. I got my morning coffee. I'm good to go.
Yeah, me too. I got my morning cup of Joe here in my super special Bana alumni mug here, because you know me, I just
Always gotta have Bana.
gotta have my Bana.
And I got my snack and bacon.
Ooh, yum.
Mm.
You had a good night last night, right? Someone was in a
I
fashion show,
did.
right? And
I
this is
did. I
like 2 weeks in
did.
a row. Like I didn't get to go to last night's fashion show, but I went to last week's fashion show, and
No,
that was
same week.
fabulous, you
Same
know.
week.
Yeah, I mean
It was
seriously.
Wednesday and Saturday. So it was a
Yes, that's
12-week of
true.
fashion shows.
It was a
Feels
good
like two
show.
weeks apart, but it wasn't.
Yeah, the Roxy Doctor did a good job out there on the runway, so she did amazing. I didn't get to go to last night's show, but I know she did an amazing job. This week has just been chaotic for me. Absolutely crazy. But speaking of crazy, let's get into today's topic, which really is crazy. So we're about 2 weeks late on this because we kept saying, "Oh, we'll have it next week. We'll have it next week," and we didn't. But today we're talking about Monster, the Ed Gein story that is on Netflix, which has been a huge hit. So we're a little late to the party, but we have watched it like a couple weeks ago. We just had other things come up and did other shows. Uh,
Well, that and it took me a minute.
yeah, it took someone a minute because she was a little disturbed by
I had to take a break. I was
yeah.
like, I can't watch this anymore. Which is weird coming from me. So,
Yeah, no, and seriously, even watching this for me was a damn, I need a minute because this was a little bit more disturbing than I
it
thought
was a
it was gonna
lot.
be.
Yeah.
But I'm not a guy who gets grossed out easily. But even I was like cringing here and there, and I'm like,
And
fuck.
I guess like the whole thing with me is I'm like, wait, this is semi-true, right?
Definitely semi-true. So let's get into that. Actually, let's let that be our first guide. So, what's true and what's not true about Ed Gein? Ed Gein was a serial killer. Very loose definition, though. He did not kill as many people as you see in the movie, and he did not kill them all in the same way that you see in the movie. The thing that made Ed Gein very disturbing is he did kill two women. Okay, that's not a joke. He did kill two women, and one of them was actually the mother of the sheriff in the town. So
Oh,
that
so that
that
part was real.
that was very much a real thing,
Oh my God.
and what led to his capture. So that was real. His motive to do that wasn't how they show it in there, though. His motive was let's go back and talk about Ed Gein's earlier life, and let's talk about how his brother dies. Because in the movie, in the series, they show him knocking him out in a log, and there's this fire.
Hmm.
However, that's not, I mean, it's possible, but that's not entirely true as to how it was presented. The reason I know a little bit more about it is because a few years back, and you can check this episode out, and it's in the early 100 episodes. So before Roxy came on board, we did a show on the Legend of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre because Ed Gein inspired that story.
Which I did
Very
not know.
Huh? Yeah,
Which I did not know.
he inspired Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the storyline. However, extremely loosely based. What they show you in the movie and what really happens are two different things. So let's kind of jump into his early life. Ed Gein had a very troubling life. He was very disturbed. His mom
Mhm.
was very overbearing and kept him very isolated. His schoolmates always thought he was weird because he was a more feminine or feminine than the other boys and stuff. But Ed Gein's brother did die at an early age in a fire where his body did not burn. So it is entirely possible Ed Gein killed him, but back then it wasn't like it is now. So you couldn't get all modern CIS with it, and figure it out. They just claimed it was he died in a fire is literally what it went down as in the death certificates type of thing, but his body was never burned. So basically they just didn't touch it. And and so his brother did die. Now, whether his brother was his first victim or not is unknown. In the movie, they portray it as he killed him, but it's really unknown. Ed Gein did suffer from schizophrenia along with a few other things, but he did only kill two women. That whole scene where they show you, oh my God, he killed two hunters in the woods with a chainsaw did not happen. That wasn't
That wasn't.
that wasn't real.
I was like,
But
dang, he got away with a lot of stuff.
yeah, now here's the other thing. In the movie, and I don't, this is just a director's thing, I guess, in the series is what I should be saying, not movie. I worry about this director because there was a lot of necrophilia in the
That is where I was like, I can't watch this anymore. I have
and
to take a break.
and
I can't.
exactly. And when I was doing the research into Ed Gein early on, not just now, but like when I first did this story, um, Ed Gein never slept with any of the bodies. He himself, it was a quote, said, uh, they just smelled. I couldn't get over that. So he never did anything like that. But the thing is, he was grave robbing. He was developing a woman's suit. That is true. Ed Gein in real life did develop a woman's suit. And the reason he
Ugh,
did that is because
ugh.
yeah, I know exactly. The reason he did that is because his mom died, and the thing is he was very much left alone. He was isolated. He didn't have friends and stuff like that. So he missed his mom. I know that sounds like a horrible, and it's true. He missed his mom, so he started going into the graveyard and he started developing a woman's suit, and he would dress in his mom's clothes. And I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's because he wanted to be a woman," and he was confused. No, he missed his mom, is what it was. Very Norman Batesy, which is how you get the storyline for Psycho. I mean, Ed Gein, as weird as he did, inspired
A
some
lot of
major
movies.
yeah
Yeah.
he
I was
is
like,
the inspiration for Psycho, Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, um which by our standard today isn't a scary movie at all. Back then
no.
that was just mind-blowing what
Mhm.
happened, what Hitchcock did. um then you have, of course, he inspires Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then he is the inspiration for the character of Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lambs. And you can see what it is that they are particularly inspired by in each one.
Yeah.
Um, but it's kind of interesting and it's very disturbing.
It is
But
very
But
disturbing.
the thing is, they took a lot of liberties too, because like even with the whole Ted Bundy thing, like oh, how Ed Gein helps him find Ted Bundy, that's not true. Ed Gein had nothing to do with Ted Bundy or helping him catch Ted Bundy. And the other thing that I want to say, I don't know why they did this, but as far as I know, and I will double check this, Ted Bundy was not a necrophilia kind of
Yeah,
person.
I never heard anything like that.
He never did. But in the movie, they show him like being a necrophiliac, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like this
Yeah, like the
didn't.
whoever this director is has a thing with
I
necrophilia.
was like, maybe we need to be checking this
I mean,
director
you
real
might want to
quick.
investigate the director.
Like I'm just saying, maybe he needs to get a visit, a little home visit, because like these are things that didn't happen. Ed Gein didn't do that, and Ted Bundy, as far as I know, didn't do that. Um, but that was something that was a creative, what you call creative license and these type of things. Especially like the other serial killers that they show him having these weird correspondence with. It's possible, but not like one serial killer did not send Ted Bundy's info to him and he's like, "Oh, let me tell you who this is." That just did
Right.
not happen in
Mm-mm.
reality. So now that we've cleared up
Just
the
like
mystery,
him talking to the lady.
yeah, like him talk well, and that was him having an episode, and I get it. Schizophrenia causes you to do that. Um which is fine, you know. Well, now it is because we have medications for that. But back then that was unheard of and not a thing. So whatever early medications he probably had probably helped to an extent, but not greatly.
Right.
But I don't want to say I feel bad for Ed Gein, but in some ways I kind of feel a little bad for Ed Gein. Because I'm he did horrible things. Don't get me wrong, he did horrible things. He dug up
Disturbing
graves,
things.
huh?
Disturbing things.
Yes, he did. And the thing that where he was making bowls out of people's skulls and stuff like that, that was true. That wasn't a joke. That was true. He made a belt out of human nipples. He made all kinds of, yeah. And here's the thing. If you really want to see this, like if you're a
No, I
gory
don't.
well, if you're someone who wants to research it, you can go online and you can pull up the police photos from the house, and they have photos of the belts that he made from human nipples. And the he made a drawstring too out of human flesh. He had the bowls that were made out of skulls. And you can see this online. I mean, the actual
Oh my
police crime
God.
scene photos at the time. So those things were not made up. He really did that. Yeah, so he was very handy. What can you say?
Yeah, right?
Peachy Poo. Did you enjoy Ed Gein there, Peach?
She did not.
She did not. She did not care
She did
for
not like it
it.
either. We were both grossed and disturbed.
hmm
We were like, oh, she was like, Mom, turn this off,
Like
please.
him, you need a break, Mom. You need a break.
Please, mommy.
I will say overall, the series itself was a good series. That was really good. It was well acted.
Before the necrophilia, I was in. I was like, okay, this is good. And then the
Mhm.
necrophilia happened, and nope, you
Yep.
lost me. I'm out.
Yep. Absolutely. I get it. I totally get it. And
Like,
like
I was
some
yelling at the TV, like when he was when Homegirl came back and she was
Mhm.
like trying to seduce him or whatever, and he was like, he
Yeah.
couldn't get up or whatever. I was like, because you're too warm, bitch, you're too warm.
And then she go
I was
and
like,
then
sit
he's
your ass in that ice bath.
yeah, I was like,
Ew,
"Oh
ew,
my God." It was a trip.
ew.
Now,
So gross.
as far as we know, also that was another fake thing. Ed Gein did not have a girlfriend who did those things. Ed Gein was very much a loner. Um, and that was part of what his mom taught him too, is what affected him so much. And that part was true in the movie. His mom would tell him things that women are evil and that
Mhm.
women are just going to destroy you and blah blah blah. And so he grew up very much with that mentality. So this girlfriend thing that they bring in isn't something that likely happened, is all I can say. I could be wrong. In my research, when the first runaround went, there was no mention of a girlfriend or him being married or anything like that. So that's just, creative
Maybe that
license,
was one of
perhaps.
his schizophrenia thingies.
And it could have been. It could very well have been. You never know. Because he was going through a lot of interesting things. So let's do
Mhm.
this. Let me do what I do and share screen with you. So what I want to do is I want to share the cast of the series because it
Mhm.
was most excellent. And then after that, I kind of want to give you an idea of what Ed Gein actually looked like in real life. Because why not? So anyway, are you seeing this, Roxy?
Hold on.
You froze up
Okay.
for a second.
Yes.
Are you seeing this?
Hmm.
Okay, excellent. So here's the cast of Monster: The Ed Gein Story. Charlie
Hunnam. His name
Hunnam,
is Charlie Hunnam.
Charlie Hunnam, who Roxy is in love with, played Ed
Who
Gein.
else? I don't know. After this character, I don't know.
he
Woo!
he did an such an incredible
He
job
did.
as
He did a
Ed
really good
Gein.
job.
I could not believe it. Now, this guy, Tom Hollander, who plays Alfred Hitchcock. Alfred Hitchcock. I will admit, I did not like the way they made him look because he did not look like Alfred
He
Hitchcock, but
didn't at all. He looked
he looked
weird.
very beat up, like the poor man's Alfred Hitchcock. But
Not a poor man's Alfred Hitchcock.
I will say this, his voice was very similar to Alfred. Really good. Laurie Metcalf, who's a brilliant actress, played Ed Gein's mommy. Uh,
I like her as an actress.
and it took me a minute to figure out that was Laurie Metcalf. I was like, I know her from somewhere. And this guy who played Anthony Perkins looked nothing like Anthony Perkins, but did a great job of playing Anthony Perkins. For those of you who don't know who Anthony Perkins is, he is the man who plays Psycho. He's in the movie Psycho. He was the original actor who plays Norman Bates, and how that movie changes his life because after that, it's just like all you're ever going to be known for is Norman Bates type of situation. And it's
Mm-hmm.
true, he did try to do other things. He was in Murder in the Orient Express and Psycho and a few other little things here and there, but he just could not get away from the whole fame of Psycho. And
Yeah.
that's pretty much what he was pigeonholed into. But anyway, this is kind of like some of your cast members of in that he played an excellent Ed Gein. I will tell you that. And let me pull up Ed Gein because I did have him up and he's probably over here in this other thing. This is Ed Gein in real life. I'm not saying those eyes scream psycho, but those eyes scream psycho.
I mean,
Yeah, that's Ed Gein. Not as good looking as the guy who plays Ed Gein, but that's Ed Gein right there. Um, I'm not gonna click on the stuff where it shows you all this other stuff, but that is him. Now, Ed Gein, it is true, Ed Gein did die in a mental hospital. He lived for a very long time and he died in a mental hospital. He never got out. But then again,
well,
technically he never faced trial either because he was always considered to be insane. So, but this is what he looks like in real life. So just kind of giving you an idea. Born in La Cruces, Wisconsin, and was virtually insane. He's 5'7". He's my height. His nicknames. Oh, he has some nicknames. The Godfather of Gore, the Ghoul
oh,
of Plainfield, which that I knew, and the Plainfield Butcher and the Plainfield Ghoul. Um,
yikes.
Very interesting going on here. And there's a lot of stuff. You can go into Encyclopedia Britannica and all that, and you'll find all kinds of interesting stuff on Ed Gein. But Roxy, let's jump to it really quickly. If you had to rate this series, what you giving it?
Oh God.
Mhm.
I would go 7.5. And just because, like, I guess that's what a B, C
Yeah.
minus.
Okay. A
I'd
B.
say B because it was a good series. It's just the necrophilia just it killed me. And I just ugh.
I'm gonna give it an A. And that's because the acting all the way around was good. The storyline was good. The creative liberties were a little much. Okay, that's why I'm not giving it an
And
A.
I think, yeah, that's another thing too. Like it wasn't like an actual true story.
Yeah, I mean they added stuff in there that really didn't need to be in there, like the necrophilia, like the
Had that not been in there, it probably would have got an A from me, but that
probably.
killed it for me.
But altogether, it is a great series. It will creep you out.
It will. Yeah, it will definitely creep you out, gross you out. Yeah.
I think this would be a great series to put into your Halloween rotation. Like every Halloween to watch this. For those of you who are into it, I think it would
Those of you
be.
who are into necrophilia.
Yes, and other weird stuff.
Or
This
are
this
just not disturbed by it the way I am.
yeah, this is the series for you. Uh
Oof.
Personally for me, I thought it was great. It was one of the few movies that actually creeped me out. And that's why I say it'd be good for a Halloween rotation because like if you can creep me out, you've done well. And that did creep me out. So I have to give it an A, but not an A plus because of the creative liberties. I felt they took a little too many creative liberties, including liberties with stories that weren't even Ed Gein, like Bundy and some of the others.
Yeah,
Um, but it is really interesting to see how this man inspires some of the greatest movies
that is interesting.
ever.
Yeah.
You know, he's inspired three of the, well, you know what? I can't say that he inspired Silence of the Lambs, but the
The
ultimate
character,
character was
Buffalo Bill.
inspired by him. So he's had some major influences in Hollywood.
Yeah.
You know, it's been pretty impressive. I mean, granted, it was for terrible reasons, but but he did inspire like Texas Chainsaw, Psycho, and then of course, Silence of the Lambs. The character Buffalo Bill is inspired by Ed Gein. So it's definitely an interesting kind of situation. Roxy, is there any other thoughts you might have on this one?
Don't eat while you're watching it.
Don't eat while you're watching it. That is definitely a thing.
Yeah, I highly recommend. But no, yeah, it was a good show. It's just that
A little
part.
much for you.
Yeah, I couldn't.
And I get it. I get it.
Like,
It
what was this? 2 weeks ago that we started watching it? It took me 2 weeks to watch the last two episodes
hmm hmm
because I was like, nope, I'm out.
That's true because that's part of the reason why we ended up doing some other things because it was like she couldn't get through the last two episodes
Well, the last two
and
episodes weren't that bad, but I couldn't like that one that messed me up.
yeah,
So I
like
was
she
like,
didn't
I
know
need
that
break.
until like she actually
Yeah.
watches it. But the thing is, it was messing with her, so like it took her a little while to actually get on it, and
I'm like, what's happening to me? Am I getting soft?
yeah, I was like, wow. So it took a minute, and in the meantime, we had done some other things. We did go, and we might talk about this next week. I'm gonna say might because it may not be an actual thing that
Something
we're
else might
doing.
happen.
Um, we went to go see Jason Muth in
Oh
concert.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that was interesting. That might be worth a little gab. And then we did a couple of our fashion shows and then some other stuff here and there.
Hmm.
But it did take a good minute for her to get over that to watch it. I powered through it and watched it, but I am going to say that it took a lot for me to even do that because of how disturbing the content was, you know?
It is very disturbing.
It
I
was
will sit here
something
and watch
else.
Art the Clown chop up some people and shove
Hmm
mashed potatoes in their face and their open face.
Yeah. And I
But
think with
I
that
will not watch that.
I think for that with what's happening here, it's like, we know Art the Clown and all that is
It's fake.
fake. And I think the disturbing thing here is this is real. A lot of it was real.
And I think that's part of it. Like if you, especially if you're not familiar with his story
Mhm.
and you don't know that they took a lot of liberties with the story, you go in not knowing and you're just like, oh my God, he did this?
Yeah,
No.
and so some of those liberties kind of need to get like toned back a bit because
Yeah.
they were
I
very
think they could have
misleading.
really gone without that. Like, especially because it's not part of his story. They could have really just left that out.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And there were things that were just like really like, that doesn't seem right. And
Yeah.
so that was something that kind of disturbed me a little bit. But all in all, it was
Yeah, not bad.
not bad at all. It
I
just
think
kind
if
of
I watched it and just took that episode out,
mhm.
I'd be good.
You'd be totally fine.
Be good. Because it's only
So,
one episode, right? I think that he does that.
well, no, because it's a couple episodes because later on, they do,
Oh,
well,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so it
That's
is
right.
a couple episodes. They span it out for a little bit.
Or maybe if I just fast forward through those parts.
Absolutely. I think so too. I think
Maybe.
so too. Well, with that being said, and a little history there, I'm gonna say definitely watch it, check it out. I think it is a good Halloween kind of mix to have, but again, be cautious because there is some disturbing stuff. I mean, very disturbing stuff. This is
Mhm.
definitely not something like for teenagers to watch. I
Oh
don't,
no, no,
I feel
definitely not. No,
I
this would
feel
be adult content, I think.
yeah, and I would even say that I don't even think some adults should be watching it.
Yeah, no, seriously.
It is pretty out there and it is pretty disturbing. So I would
Mhm.
definitely take this with a grain of salt and be cautious with it. But it is something that, like I said, I powered through it, but you may need to give yourself some breaks while
You
watching
might
it
want to
because,
watch it like 3 episodes at a time or
yeah,
something, two at a
give
time.
yourself a
I don't
little
know.
bit by bit in trying to complete it. And if you
Yeah.
can't
See, I
complete
tried to
it,
power through it. I couldn't.
yeah, it was a lot. It really was a lot, but it was well done. And this is also done by the same guy who did Dahmer and a few other of the other Netflix series, which he did a fabulous job with Dahmer. That was
Yeah,
absolutely
Domino was great.
brilliant. And so I have to say, Ed Gein was also a fabulous series. It just, for some reason, this disturbed me more than the Dahmer stuff. I don't know
Hmm.
why,
Hmm.
but the Ed Gein stuff bothered me more than Dahmer. And it's kind of insane. That's all I can say. Very much
I mean, I
insane.
guess, he was wearing their skin.
Yep, that is kind of a problem. Yeah.
What?
Hmm.
Ugh. Yeah, see? Mm.
Very much an issue. Very much an issue. But until next time, I am Vada. And also, before I forget, please, 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 send us your
Oh, God,
thoughts. Yeah, send us your thoughts on Monster. Maybe you have a different opinion on it. Maybe you thought it wasn't gory enough. I don't know. But definitely send your thoughts to us via email at the VCR show at gmail.com. And check out our social medias and our YouTube channel, all the VCR show, and our website, vcrshow.com. And please, if you want to discuss and debate Monster with Roxy, you can do so at her social medias, which are.
On Facebook at Roxy Perez Curvy Model, on Instagram at PopRocks428, and on TikTok at the Pop Rocks. And Pop Rocks is spelled Poproxx.
And until next time, I'm Vara,
And I'm Roxy.
and you've been listening to VCR.
Later.
Bye bye.
That's you.
You have been listening to VCR, creative content by Richard Christopher Vara and Roxy Perez. Logo by Richard Christopher Vara with assistance from Annie Ramirez. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can reach us at thevcrshow@gmail.com or our social medias at Instagram and Twitter at the VCR Show. And you can also check out our content at thevcrshow.com. The show song is Addict by Nefex, instrumental, and you can find them on YouTube Music Library.